that are literally behind our political leaders like Mark Carney.
The message of salvation. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. This is a characteristic of the last days. That's where we are. This is from my Bible, it's the truth.
He said he's going to do something against the mass immigration. He's not doing anything in my eyes. And, I want to fight for this country because you see around it's not getting better. I heard $60 billion left this country in business, and we're not getting any new business in. So, that's going to affect us all. I don't think so. I don't want to be negative, but I think it has to get worse before it gets better. I want to be positive, and hopefully we get a new government in and, stop the bleeding and, and work for the people again. That's what I believe in. If we let people in this country, there's no problem with that. Black, white, any color. But you have to work. There's no freedom because good Canadians work very hard for our health care and our benefits. And there's no piggy rights. I still believe you can really make it in Canada if you work hard. But there's no freebies. There shouldn't be any freebies. So
this so-called PM's got to go, and he's ruining the country. He's a hypocrite, promising this, promising that. Says he's going to stand up to the states. I don't think so. It's all talk and no action.
In especially the last 4 years, I've just seen a decline in the country. I think it's going downhill while taxes are going up, basically, which doesn't make sense to me. If taxes are going up, I should see a more beautiful country, a nicer country. I should see cleaner highways and cleaner city and all that. But I feel like it's just in a decline while we're paying more in taxes. And I also think the mass immigration thing is a big problem. I think there should be more security and more screening on immigrants coming in and things like that.
I just want to see my fellow Canadians have a house and food on the table, really, right? Like, I don't stand for watching Carney throw billions of dollars away while we have people in our own country that need it.
I've had enough of the federal government these days. I would like to see changes. Right off the bat, I would like to see the appeal that was granted or upheld a couple of weeks ago. I would like to see consequences for that appeal, where the ministers who made decisions to violate people's charter rights do not remain ministers.
Are we talking about the Freedom Convoy and how the Emergencies Act was deemed unconstitutional?
And unreasonable, yes, exactly that. I do believe it was unconstitutional, unreasonable, and there should be consequences for people who make bad decisions. They felt it was the right thing at the time. 5 judges. The injunction, the judge with the injunction for the horns, Judge Mosley, and 3 appeals judges have now ruled that the federal government violated Canadians' charter rights and freedoms. There should be consequences. These people should lose their jobs as ministers.
Well, Trudeau's not prime minister anymore. Do you think he's ever going to be held accountable?
No, he will not be held accountable in any tangible way that I think many Canadians would like to see. The violations that they did as a government are civil violations, not criminal. So there is not a lot of recourse for this. But they should not be in the position that they are holding today.
Trudeau, 10 years of Trudeau ruined the country. Okay, 10 years of Trudeau. I think vaccination really did it to people. Okay, and the thing is that you had Trudeau 10 years, and this guy, he represents Brookfield Properties, okay? Brookfield Properties owns land everywhere. Trump represents Trump Properties. They're both identical. Like, you have both identical. You'll never solve affordability, ever, with these guys in power. Never. You'll never own a house. You'll own nothing to be happy with 2 property owners in power.
How much money you pay one box egg. When I was in Canada, 2020, just $1.09. But now it's almost $4-5. It's not affordable. For the students, they cannot afford the rental here. So everything getting worse and worse and worse. And then as a leader of this country, you should be initially priority to protect this country, especially people can live the normal life.
I'm an international student. I've been here in Canada for a while now. I believe I have more of a first-hand experience of how immigration process has changed over the past couple of years. I think personally it's a great thing. They're tightening up everything, but it really reflects how horrible it was before. And personally, I'm going through the channel with legal immigration in a way. I'm not saying other channels aren't legal, but we were debating on other channels like refugee programs, other programs where people basically just come in and tear their passport and register, and then they will eventually get their PR. It's been a common phenomenon where this is much more of an efficient, cost-efficient, effort-efficient, anything-efficient way to acquire your status here in the country, where, in my opinion, it shouldn't be the main channel. The main channel should still be a merit-based, because personally, I'm Chinese. I wouldn't want anybody who doesn't work, doesn't have education background or anything to come to China. It's not to say that I succumb to China. I succumb to my own belief. If I were to immigrate in the future, that's my own choice. But it's just the system, the value, what stands behind the system. It says a lot about how the country is run, and I don't think personally that is viable.
Mark Carney, if you're listening to this, you!
To come of this, there is nothing